With the launch of the Arc Ultra, there seems to be quite a few combinations for the Arc Ultra, including all the original sub Gen 1 right up to the Gen 4, well, the sub 4, which was just announced together with the Arc Ultra and the Sub Mini. So I'm hoping that I'm making this video in time for the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale that is right round the corner. And this is a public service announcement. The Sub Mini, which is originally priced at $429, is now down to about $340 there or so. And that is on the Sonos website. And the Sub 4, which is sitting right there, is originally going for $799, it's now at $679. So officially, the Sub Mini is now half the price of the Sub 4. So upfront summary for you, if you do not have a Sub right now, and if you're just thinking about toying with the idea of going with a Sub for your Arc Ultra, then let me recommend you the Sonos Sub Mini. Just go and get it for $340. It is almost a no-brainer. You're spending $999 on the Arc Ultra. What is another 1/3 of the sticker price? So go for it. You will thank me later. Now I'm going to leave a QR code right here. This is the QR code for the Amazon affiliate link for the Sub Mini. In fact, on Amazon website, it's going for a couple of dollars less. I think it is at $39 or so. And if you use this QR code, the price is exactly the same for you, and I earn a small little commission from that sale to help this channel keep going. Now again, if you don't need it, don't buy it. So very quickly, I would say that if you're considering between the Sub Mini and the Sub Gen 4, I would say that if you have a big room, go for the Sub 4, right? Because it fills a room up pretty well, especially how low and how powerful the bass is. The Sub Mini actually does pretty well in a small room. And I'm going to run through a couple of tests, including the frequency response sweep, to convince you that the Sub Mini is actually a very, very good contender to the Sub 4, especially if your budget doesn't allow you to stretch right up to almost $700 for this sale price right now. $300 for this, right? So even if you decide that you don't want to use it after a year or so, can you imagine how much you can fetch for the Sub Mini? Today, if you go on the used market, you'll still see one right around 300, I guess. I don't know. Search around, find out. So very quickly, if your room is below 200 square feet or so, I'll say go for the Sub Mini. It will suffice. I am in a room that is about 13 feet long and about 9 feet wide. So it goes about 120 square feet or so. I would say that the Sub Mini might arguably perform better in a small room like this. Now, I'm extremely busy this weekend, but I really need to tell you about the Sub Mini combo with the Arc Ultra that I have set up with my TV. Now, the Sub 4 is an extremely capable subwoofer. Yes, you have the room size and you require more bass, go for the Sub 4. Now, if you want boom in your explosion scenes, then you go for the Sub 4. But for scenes with like gunshots, right, this is where the bass is more focused and it comes out in a burst and it's not sustained like an explosion where it goes like boom. Gunshots go like pum, 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 right? It's not sustained. So the Sub Mini will actually do better because the emphasis on the bass is around the 50 to 100 hertz or so. The Sub 4 has bass emphasis going much deeper below 50 hertz, right? And the architecture of the two subwoofers are slightly different as well. The Sub Mini goes for a closed architecture design, whereas the Sub 4 is a ported open design. And for that, it actually hits harder for the lower frequencies. Now I need to show you the frequency response chart. I'm promising I need to keep this video short as well for your sake and for my sake because of time. Now, maybe I'll just pull up the frequency response chart, right? So in the green chart here, this is the Arc Ultra on its own. The Arc Ultra has a sound motion driver, and that sound motion driver actually gives quite a good peak response at about 95 hertz or so. Now, this peak response is actually pretty high and is pretty generous. If you listen to the Arc Ultra on its own, you actually might not miss a subwoofer until the moment that you put a subwoofer and you pair it with the Arc Ultra. So in red curve, I'm going to bring up now, the Arc Ultra is being paired with a Sub 4. Notice that I've not talked about the surround channel because for this particular test, I'm not pairing any surround speakers like the Era 100 or the Era 300, right? So this red curve, Arc Ultra, with the sub 4, you can see that it extends the bass really, really low. And the flat response from about 40 Hertz to 90 Hertz, it really kind of shows you how capable this sub is at controlling the lower bass. Now, it actually reduces the sound motion output, though the sound motion output maybe about 100 Hertz or so, but you will get presence all the way down to the 20 Hertz or so. The next chart I'm going to pull up is in cyan, right? This is the Arc Ultra with the Sub Mini. Now, you can see that it actually reduces the output from the Arc Ultra throughout the entire frequency range, but it keeps the bass output from the sound motion driver right about 90-100 Hertz or so. And it also brings the bass down to about 20 Hertz or so. Now, I'm going to say this, right? If you are comparing the Sub Mini with the Sub 4, the Sub Mini actually has better response. Let's put the two frequency response chart together. So one for the Sub Mini, which is in cyan, and one for the Sub 4, which is in red. So you can see very clearly that the Sub Mini has better bass response in the 50 to the 90 Hertz region. But the Sub 4, it actually takes the lead over from below 50 Hertz. Now the difference is actually quite marginal below 50 Hertz, but from 50 to 90 Hertz, the higher output from the Sub Mini actually more than makes up for that. So just a quick recap, I'll bring up all the charts here. The Arc Ultra with sound motion, which is in green, it peaks at about 95 Hertz or so. The Arc Ultra with Sub Mini, which is in cyan, it peaks at about 80 Hertz or so. The Arc Ultra with the Sub 4, which is in red, it has a flat response from 40 to 90 Hertz, right? So just given these charts, right, and a quick comparison, I would say that you're probably not going to miss a lot by going with the Sub Mini when pairing it with the Arc Ultra. Now, I haven't tested it with all the other soundbars that Sonos has, including the Beam Gen 1 and Gen 2. If this is any indication, the Arc Ultra pairing with the Sub Mini is actually a pretty interesting proposition. The Arc Ultra is the highest end top range soundbar, Atmos capable from Sonos, and the Sub Mini is the cheaper budget alternative from Sonos as a subwoofer. So if you pair these two combinations together, it might be a little bit strange, but I'm telling you it works. Now, how do I convey this with you? So I did a recording, a spatial recording. You're going to need good headphones for this. Put on a pair of headphones and listen clearly to the differences. I did 3 recordings. All these are done at the same volume level, but you will hear some differences because of the output from the different setup. The first setup is the Arc Ultra on its own. The second setup is the Arc Ultra with this Sub Mini, and you will hear the bass will actually hit a lot harder already. The third one, which is the final one, you will hear the Arc Ultra with the Sub Gen 4. And throughout all these tests, you will be able to hear the slight differences between the bass implementation for the Sub Mini as well as the Sub Gen 4, but you will clearly hear that an Arc Ultra with any of these two subwoofers will do a lot better than just the Arc Ultra on its own. And that's not to say that the Arc Ultra is weak in the bass department in any case, because today, right until today, which is like maybe 2 months, 1+ months since the launch of the Arc Ultra, since I started listening to it, I'm actually pretty impressed with the amount of bass that I'm getting out of the Arc Ultra just on its own because of the sound motion driver unit.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene, or captures the full extent of nature's fury. This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene,
Whoa! What is this place? Come on, you guys, let's go!
or captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury. This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene,
Whoa! What is this place? Come on, you guys, let's go!
or captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury.
So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I know I owe you guys a lot of videos and you guys are asking for this combination, that combination, best sound settings and all. Well, I haven't gotten the time to go through everything. I can produce maybe about one video a week and that is stretching it at this point. But in the meantime, to keep yourself occupied, maybe you want to check out this video about the Sub Mini, which I've done quite a while back, or you want to check out the video on the Sub Gen 4, which I have compared it with the Sub Gen 3 as well. Just bear in mind that, well, your mileage may vary depending on the room that you're in. So I will see you in one of these videos and I'll catch you in my next.